Think about where we are right this minute. The Bike Summit over the course of 15 years has paralleled the most dramatic changes in cycling in over a century. Cycling is back at home and abroad. Innovations like bike share are dramatically expanding the urban bicycle experience. 49 active systems, nearly 20 million trips last year. Bike tourism has created boundless opportunities for people to enjoy the country, the great outdoors, and create and spread the economic benefits of cycling in profound, tangible ways. We've seen it from Florida to Oregon. We've introduced the bipartisan Vision Zero Act last week, an innovative way to make all of our communities safer. Whether it's childhood obesity, climate change, energy security, local economic activity, the bicycle is a critical part of the solutions for today's challenges. It empowers people regardless of their station in life. It makes children strong, healthy, and independent, even while it protects neighborhoods and resources. It's amazing to watch the progress that has taken place. The people who've organized and attended the bike summits have provided the leadership at home driving this process. The cycling movement has had a transformational effect on the shape of the urban landscape. A more than 60% increase in bike commuting since we had our first summit in the year 2000. That's not a coincidence. We're still suffering from the short-sighted lack of vision and resources that has plagued national transportation policy for 15 years. Our country is falling apart and falling behind our global competitors. We continue to shortchange all types of surface transportation modes in part of a failure of will and vision to fully acknowledge our transportation needs and the shortfall in the Highway Trust Fund. I've got some ideas to fix that. Cycling is still a junior partner and suffers accordingly with less attention than the same deficiencies facing mass transit, decaying roads, bridges, and critical intermodal connections. Getting this right is a key to helping neighborhoods that are evolving to fight back against congestion, parking battles, and gentrification. The bicycle is a powerful economic tool that can promote tourism and a number of recreational activities. Americans will spend $10.5 billion this year on cycling, with an overall economic impact of more than $81 billion. The cyclist is a cheap, fun date. We make almost everyone have a better time. We build public awareness and acceptance. We add a simple, extraordinary, cost-effective element of fun. So what should we do? Number one, it's important to share those stories. Part of our problem is that very few people fully appreciate the impact of bicycling. They don't know the success stories in their own backyards. The economic powerhouse that represents the cycling movement has too often been kept under wraps. Who really knows how much economic activity is to be found in America's communities directly related to successful bicycle activities and businesses? It's critical that we discover and share these stories. Number two, we should not relax the pressure for Congress to fulfill its responsibilities. Congress should not be allowed to turn our backs or allow that capacity to atrophy. One of the most important ways to lobby, spread the word, and persuade people at the federal level is to make sure that everything happens locally as well. Every institution that is a part of our lives must have a bike policy and, by extension, a pedestrian policy. What's the situation where you all work? Do they have bike parking, showers, provide a commuter bike benefit? The quickest way to improve the policy we were able to make a part of the Recovery Act 6 years ago and expand and improve is to make sure that people take advantage of what we have. Every local government, city, county, school district needs to have a policy. What are they doing for their employees, their customers, their constituents? Are they including bike facilities in their capital planning? Are they making it a part of their community fitness? Congress is at times a mysterious process and oh, so far away. Even tracking down local congressmen and senators back home can be a challenge, but I know you're doing it anyway. But it's not that hard to be able to gain access to your local water board, the park and recreation board, the county commission and city council. They all conduct public meetings, they have budgeting and planning processes. They are natural targets to be able to make these programs work. What have they done? And what are their plans in the future? And what are we doing for young people who may not be a part of our local bike culture? Every year, the highlight of my holiday is being able to be part of a bicycle distribution program for hundreds of low-income children and many minorities who otherwise would not have a bicycle or maybe even very many presents. The Portland Community Cycling Center works all year long to make this gift of cycling a reality. It's heartwarming and important. Starting that cycling experience early can create a lifelong cycling habit and appreciation. It also helps attack the stereotype that cycling is an upper middle class male habit for the fit and well off. It's critical to sharing the benefit of bicycles for those who need them the most and to build a broader base of support for what we all care about. At a time when the philosophy of so many in Congress is that, well, we're all in this alone, the cycling agenda combines self-reliance and cost-effectiveness with common sense, simple solutions to broader issues. It can be done without great expense, bureaucracy, or complexity. We need to expand our agenda, strengthen our alliances, build new relationships, and establish the strongest possible local foundation. I'm sorry that the Bike Summit comes to town when I and many of my colleagues are back home to our districts, listening to our constituents and preparing for a very challenging session of Congress. But it's important to make the best of this situation. I hope every moment that you are in Washington not working with one another, that you're reaching out to make those key staff connections with every one of the 535 offices who will vote on things that you and I care so deeply about. Thank you for all that you do to inspire me, to encourage us, to try and at least keep up with you, to assure that the federal government is the partner that you deserve and that the message of cycling gathers strength, precision, creativity, and force. Have a great conference.